In this final episode of our Hobbit Home, we will pave our paths through the garden, put in our crops, install an outdoor kitchen, and more. There's a huge list to knock out, so let's get to the grind. Alrighty, the outside. So I got my main altar placed, and I got all the other altars deleted. I had to upgrade that thing to level 3, I believe. And this is going to be tricky because of the slope, but I think we can make it happen. My first task is the paths. This will clearly map where our crops will be. Okay, so far so good. And this is going to be a retaining wall, so we'll go ahead and flatten this out as well. Okay, like that. And then what we'll do here is we'll just kind of weave this path around our available space. And we'll wrap it around this way. We'll just kind of bring it back up a little bit like that. Yep, there we go. We'll bring it around like this. Okay, then we'll come back over here. We will drag this way, and then let's go ahead and raise this up. Okay, let's jump up here and get a bird's eye view of what we're looking at. Yeah, okay, I think that'll do fine. Now what we'll do is we'll just clean up all these hard edges. See, that one's still a little steep, so we'll come over here and we'll adjust it. And I know this could be kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. All it requires is a little bit of patience, and I'm not trying to actually spread any of this. All I'm doing is just giving it little taps to try and get it to where I want. See, just nice little taps to try and fill that gap. I'm not trying to push it over that gap because then you're gonna interfere with this piece over here with the slope itself. There's just nice little subtle taps here and there. And if it does something you don't like that, I don't like how steep that is, just hit Y, get rid of it, smoothen it back out and try again. So now we'll come over here. Let's give it some love taps. There. Yep. That's getting better. There we go. You know, and some of these that are super aggressive like this and we just have a hard time smoothing it out, we could always just throw in a step too, you know, a step or two. Okay, so that's the basic layout. Let's build this retaining wall. Kind of an awkward angle, so we might have to do this maybe with pillars. That way we can make fine adjustments as we go. And then we're going to want to lower this as we go. Yeah, I think that's fine there. And then we can come through and pop some holes in it. It's just going to make it look kind of roughed up. Get rid of a corner or two here and there. And then what we're going to do on the back side is we'll add some here and there. There we go. That's a neat little wall. Now, prepping for the first of many crop plots in the area, I'm designing small walls to help me better visualize where I want the crops to be planted. Yep, there we go. That works like that. We'll probably do another one over here. We'll put another one around this bend here. Cool. Okay, let's start getting some crops in here. So what I'm gonna do, pull out my terrain tool, grab my fertilized farming soil, and we're gonna have to build a wall around this right here. So I need to determine now what level I want this at. And I think I want it right at the same level as this path. So we will go there. Grab our hoe, just start spreading this out and flattening it. Cool. All right, now this side.
The crops here will be multi-tiered, so shaping this took some doing. I first only wanted 2 tiers of crops, but decided 3 would better utilize the area and make use of the slope a lot more efficiently.
Yep, like that. Okay. Yep, that looks good. And we'll put up retaining walls where we need shortly. But I want to get all the available farmland in first. We'll kind of shape another wall right here. I like how it's curved, so we'll bring it out and curve along with it, just like that.
There are 2 types of crops that I want a lot of: corn and wheat. These seem to look better in larger plots because of their wide range of uses. Therefore, this will only be one of 2 of the larger plots in the area. We're going to need mass quantities of both these products. And this here will be the second of the larger plots. I'll determine what goes where in a minute. My first priority is to determine the space I have available. Then I can decide where each item will go.
All right, and I think that's gonna do it for the farm space. So the next step is to put up retaining walls and borders and kind of cordon off each section. Yeah, I'm gonna use these column blocks because I can easily manipulate this the way I want it to be instead of using actual walls. Plus, I want it to be thick. That way I can go back and eliminate blocks here and there and still have blocks behind it without needing to go back and replace those blocks. And then needing to eliminate some off the top isn't a big deal, like right in here. Okay, and we'll come back to this side, kind of fill this in. Okay, and then we'll come and place some more over here. Pretty much what my plan is, I'm gonna get all these placed, and then I'm gonna go back, and that's when I'll kind of detail them up and mess them up and make them look aged, like they've been here for a while.
With these walls, I first place them in at whatever height is the easiest. I then go back later and shave them down to a more appropriate height for their locations. This seems to give me a better workflow, so I'm not switching my tools back and forth so often. It's all part of how I stay organized as I build. Yes, that creates a lot of back and forth movement, but it allows me to view each wall multiple times to determine if I really like its shape and its placement.
Yeah, we're just gonna come in here and eliminate some blocks here and there just to kind of make the wall look a little beat up. And this is all, you know, pretty random here. There's no exact science to this that I'm doing. I'm just kind of chopping it up, making it look old, and then we'll come in here and we'll throw some blocks in front too, maybe where some of the blocks fell out. Maybe throw a couple up in the corner there, kind of add some depth to this. Shape this corner a little bit, take some off the top here. Maybe bring some up a little bit like that. Take those ones down, bring that one up. Maybe a little bit over here. Take down, put up, put up. There we go. And that's a good looking beat up wall. Ah, I dig it. Moving on, same thing. We'll just take this off all the way across. Okay, on this side's a little bit different because we have the path, so we want the height to be here. Maybe put one here, maybe one there and there. Maybe one here where it starts to taper down. Okay, we'll bring that up this way, like that. Maybe one more. Yep, I like that. Bring that around. We'll take this corner down. Like that, and it should look, yeah, that's cool. Okay, back to this side. Maybe we'll put one up there, and then we can start to lower this some more here and just have it taper down to about there. Okay, now bringing this around and finishing this off over here. I'm just gonna spam right click as I move through here, and if there's some that stay, then there's some that stay, and then we'll work with that. Because we do want some to stand taller than others, you know? Okay, maybe take that one down, put another one up there, make that one cornered. I like that. Okay, and now we're gonna fill in the front with some. It's just gonna give it that appearance of stones that have fallen over time. Or maybe the bottom of the wall is a little bit thicker when they stacked it for structural support, just whatever. And realistically, like, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You know, it's just whatever you feel looks good, honestly. Let's go ahead and take some of that down though. Yep, that's cool. Okay, punch a hole there. I love how this is growing up the wall like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. Yeah, cool, just enough to show that it's been sectioned off, right? These walls are not supposed to be perfect. Bring that one out. Let's go ahead and get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one and that one. And then maybe put one up right there. Yep, cool. And then back here, we'll put one up there. There we go. See? It all comes together. Okay, let's knock out this one now. So I think this one, I want the overall height to be there. All right, now we'll go ahead and add some here and there. Okay, now on the inside and along the bottom. Okay, that one's done. What do we got left? 2 more? That ain't bad. There we go. All right, that is all the walls up. But I think I also want to use some foliage to pair with that, to also use to cordon off some of these crop plots.
Now, utilizing the foliage block, I want to get some hedges around here as well. Instead of having a wall in every spot that I want a divider, the hedge should give some variation in color to bring the whole thing together nicely. I do clean up the base of these hedges as well, though I don't show it just to save time in this already long video.
Next step is to get these steps in. Ha, no pun intended. So we'll get one there. There we go. Perfect. Yep, just like that. Cool. And then we'll do one here. There we go. That's fine. Okay, the next one will go here. And I think we're gonna have to do 2 on this one. Yeah, just like that.
We're just about ready for the next part, planting. I love planting crops for some weird, soothing reason, I guess. Anyway, my plans are to put the strawberries in this spot, then the berry bushes over here, followed by the beets just above those. Pumpkins will be at the top over here, and bell peppers way in the back there. We'll plant some tomatoes next to the berries on the right, and use the big plot on the left for corn. Which means the huge plot on the right is reserved for wheat.
All right, some tomatoes. Then I think berry bushes here. And because these things do grow pretty bushy, I'm not going to put them in rows like I did with the tomatoes. And in here, we'll do some beets, and these will be in rows. So let's go like this. Let's start here. And over here, we'll do bell peppers. All right, and this will be corn. Yeah, I just learned this. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you could turn snapping on with crops, and it's so much easier to space them. I didn't even know this was a thing. Pretty cool. Okay, and up top here we'll do pumpkins. Yep. Okay, and down here will be strawberries. And now this is all gonna be wheat.
Now that all the delicious fruits and veggies have been planted, I want to get the path leading up to the altar put in. I also want to take a minute to apologize how late this video is. The wife and I got incredibly sick, which stunted progress on both the build and editing the video. With that said, there'll be huge chunks in the video from here on that is completely narrative. You may even be able to tell that I was sick by the sound in my voice. I apologize for that. I want to now discuss the next build though, which was recommended by one of you guys. I'm really excited for this one. I already have a location picked out and a lot of ideas for it. This will be one of my largest projects so far, so naturally the series will be a bit longer than the previous ones. It's also going to take me a bit longer to get videos out on it as well. Not because of its size, but because I really want to elevate my editing technique and try and make my content better for you guys to enjoy. I may even stream some of it. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Anyway, enough microphoning for now. Let's check back in on the progress of the Hobbit Home. It only makes sense to use the rounded doors and frames for this build, but that's not enough. We have to jazz it up a bit. So moving inside, I put up lights right at the edge of the door and case them in with walls so that the light is barely showing. We want just enough light to show the door in the darkness. Then I'll take our beloved stick frames and place them over the lights to break up the solid white color. It's pretty cool. Then we need an entry window. Easy to quickly pop in and adds a lot to the face of the build. Sometimes it's the small things that make a big difference. We also shouldn't dismiss the use of foliage, especially on this build. Okay, time to build a point of interest, an outdoor kitchen. You know the ones you see in cooking or barbecue shows in backyards made from red brick with a smoker and beautiful wooden counters? Yeah, one of those. So we'll start with the red brick walls and try and find the shape that's desired. After that, I want to build the encasement for the smoker, and it will be vertical and have a port for the smoke ventilation. I initially made this way too tall and added a roof that I thought I liked. I didn't show the roof being in place because I'm getting rid of it shortly. That plan looked better on paper than when it was actually put in. Now that I have the shape as a whole, it's time to make micro adjustments to fine-tune its design. Now that I'm done with the smoker, it's time to build the rest of the outdoor kitchen. Putting up the walls, adjusting the walls, adding foliage, and the countertops. I also thought it would look better with a deck of some sort, so I slapped in a wooden floor. Then, finally, playing around with all the little details.
Okay, I think I actually want to put the well right here, but I'm going to kind of dig it into the wall. That's plenty deep, I think. And then we'll go back to our single tool. We'll just kind of clean this up. And that should do just fine, unless we want to put a floor in to make sure that it's level. And then, you guessed it, some lights. Okay, a little bit there, but we're going to get rid of those ones. There we go. Yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe tuck a little back here. There we go. Yep, totally good with it. And then I think this is fine too. So now, let's move up and let's do this window here. So this is going to be tough just because of the angle that we're at. But I think we can make it work. Okay, so we're going to do this. Go there, and then straight across should be there. And we'll go get some sleep. Okay, do that, and do that. And we'll get this bad boy in there. Looks like that one wasn't necessary, but what we do need to do is clean up that one and put some here. Go right there and right there. Okay, so now we see what windows we like the most. I mean, it's what's around. It's what's been used on other windows. But I got some stone ones too. Let's see how these look with that wood. That's pretty cool. So now what we need to do, get that one in like that. By doubling up on the frames here, it allows me to sneak those windows in and the lights without leaving one side looking awkward and incomplete. It's a finishing trim to complete both the inside and the outside of the windows. Now, to decorate the outside with plants and shrubbery. Okay, we'll let that stuff grow. And we're just gonna finish up this little wall right here to make this not so awkward. And we'll do just like we did downstairs. Just kind of wall this off. Yep, just like that. And then I think I want it on this side at that height. Yep, there we go. I think that'll do all right. Okay, let's get the library window done while we're here too. So same concept. We'll place the lengths down first. And we probably want it that high because this window's not that big. Grab our window frame, and I think that's our best bet right there. Okay, then our stone frames. Light. Okay, now our other frame. Right there. And then our walls. Let's see, that's right there. Man, should we push this thing a little to the left? I mean, that's what it looks like it needs in here, but outside. So we needed to move right out here. I think we can do that. That's easy. We have the space for it. Okay, so what if we put the door or the window there instead? How does that look from in here? Yeah, that looks good. There we go. Oh, that's way better. Okay, so now we'll go back outside and we'll start planting our shrubbery around it and our flowers and plants and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool. And then I want to take this thing down because I'm hoping I can get natural light to just go straight into that library. And this rock right here is preventing that from happening. With that big old rock out of the way and the door and windows completed, my next task was to plant shrubs, flowers, trees, and anything else that I thought might look good around the rest of the property. This is just to add some color and natural growth to the build. I got a little carried away with this at first and had to go back and pull a lot of it out, especially since the update. The shrubs grow wider and not skinny and straight up like they did before. Now it's time for the exterior details. This is fun because this is where you can create the daily works of the farmland. A wagon or a wheelbarrow here or there. Maybe they're in the progress of loading up a wagon, or have crates stashed and standing by the crops ready for the next harvest. Let your imagination take over. Act as if you were here mid-project. What would you be using? Where would you put it? That's how the thought process should go in placing details, at least for me. And I'm sure most of you do this anyways, and I'm just saying nothing at all. So let's crank the tunes and I'll shut up. Now we start the steps up to the altar. We're just gonna kind of step our way up this thing casually and gradually. And here in a minute, once I get this stairway all the way up, then we can come back and, you know, fine tune it, do what we need to. I'm just gonna bring this around as best as we can to connect with the other side there. Bring this out and connect this too. Yeah, leave it a little rough, a little jagged, and maybe we'll put a torch right here. This pathway here will be kept fairly simple because it's just a path of travel. There's nothing really going on between the altar and the main build. So we'll decorate it with simplistic items like fences, a torch or two, and some arches. Okay, we're gonna make some changes here. I pulled the strawberries out. I just thought this was too big of an area for strawberries. And I put them up here. What was here previously was berries. Down here is where we're gonna put the vineyard. I think the way we're gonna do that is we're just going to use these frames and we're going to alternate and flip and rotate. It's gonna break up this pattern. Okay, like that. Let's see, should we take it one more? No, I think that's fine. Okay, like that I think is fine. And then we'll pull out our foliage here. And what we're gonna start off with is just one line across the top of this, and then we'll kind of go back and we'll adjust it from there. Okay, now that we got all those placed, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in here and I'm going to randomly, oops, not do that. That's not what I'm gonna randomly do. I'm just gonna randomly throw some maybe on top, like that. You know, I don't like the way that one looks. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of it. And you know what? Right here, I'm gonna take some out. Maybe take some out there. Yep, see, that's kind of cool. And then throw one there. Maybe another one next to it. Okay, let's get rid of both of those. Let's get rid of that one. Maybe get rid of that one. And now we'll add one on top here. No, I don't like that one either. Okay, so now that that's all taken care of, and I just kind of randomized those, I think we need to change the floor. And I got some dirt road block here. I think this is going to be the better block to use. There. And we'll lower this to... I think right there should be fine. Grab the rake and then we'll just kind of spread this out along here. Okay, there we go. And I'm totally good with this stuff along the corner here, the soil remaining. It's kind of cool, throws a different texture in there. But what I do want to do now, I want some lines of grass in here. Yeah, so that there is the goal for pretty much all of these. It's going to be very finicky and time consuming. So I am just going to play around with this for a while and then bring it in once I get it completed. Okay, so I think that's pretty close. You want the grass growing underneath where the vines are, right? You want this dirt where there's the most travel when you're coming in here and picking your vines. Is it perfect? No. Is it close? Yeah, it's pretty good. So now, let's see, we got a few things we want to set down here. One of them being a wheelbarrow. And we'll put this guy right there. We'll throw a crate on top of it like that. That's fine. There we go. Just scatter some details, maybe a little bit of fence there, a little bit of fence here, a couple of barrels, crates, some pots. I think that looks all right. There's a little vineyard, something for them to grow the grapes for their wines. I like it.
Well, with that minor distraction out of the way, I need to double back and get the altar area built. You didn't think I was going to leave the altar just out in the open, did you? My plan with this is to build an ancient giant tree trunk. Now, the roots inside of the build make more sense, huh? Using the blackmire bark, I start placing the circumference I want for the broken trunk. Once I got the size I wanted, I added some roots stretching off of the trunk and disappearing into the ground. I first made them a little small and went back and increased their size and length. Not by a lot, just enough to make the proportions for the trunk correct. Now for the altar area inside of the trunk. I want a lattice roof with a wooden beam across the front. Oh hell, like this. See? There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Simple, but still pretty cool. Now I'm just going to finish up the path here with some fences and torches. Obviously I have to adjust the ground a little bit to make all that work. But then we'll move on to the chimney. I originally had a crazy idea for this thing that I could not seem to get right. I spent something like 4 hours on it and then deleted it all. I tried many variations and I just couldn't get what I wanted from it. I then thought, sometimes less is more. So I constructed a basic 2-tiered chimney with a couple different roof lines and utilized the newly added overgrowth tool to add some vines. I also ran through the rest of the exterior and added vines on other walls as well. This late in the build, I didn't want to get crazy with some of the food and drinks that you can set down now. We'll just save those neato things for the next build. The only thing to do now is to place our farmers in their new Hobbit home. Hi! And that's going to do it for this mini-series. I really hope you've enjoyed it and are looking forward to more. Stick around if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.